You're watching the PlantX Vodcast. Join us as we explore the inner workings of all things plant-based and all things PlantX, from the products and lifestyles to the people behind them. Now welcome our host, the man who combined his love of e-commerce and the plant-based lifestyle to create PlantX, Sean Dollinger.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the PlantX Vodcast. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day. We've been moving things around as things have been extremely busy on all sides. So thank you for adjusting your schedule to join us live, or obviously this is recorded. Christian does an amazing job in following up each vodcast with a bit of a recap, and you could always watch it whenever you might have some time. Purpose of these vodcasts is to give investors, customers, anybody who's interested in the PlantX story a little more context on maybe press releases that come out, or really what PlantX is all about. For all of our first-time viewers, PlantX is your one-stop shop for everything plant-based. So if you're looking for groceries, meal delivery, products for your pets, plants for the home, juices, that's what PlantX is all about. It's about bringing the convenience of a full variety of products where you don't need to flip the product to look at all the ingredients to make sure they're plant-based. Everything is plant-based. And I can tell you how many times I go into restaurants or stores and say I'm looking for something plant-based, and I get a puzzled look, or I get offered a product with dairy in it, and all these different things. And that's why PlantX was born, to give convenience, to educate, to make a great community around plant-based living. And today's guests on our show are a little bit different than our traditional guests, where, you know, we normally have vendors or suppliers. And today, Patrick and Michael, they help with the imagery to make the Venice store so beautiful and develop this community that truly, for PlantX to be successful and become a multi-billion-dollar company, we need to execute on community. And the team's been doing an unbelievable job. Alex, our CMO, worked really closely with the Future Farm partnership, and Patrick and Michael, and developed something awesome. So again, a little bit different today, but I can't wait for you to meet them, because they're just such great individuals and their energy is amazing, and it'll give you an idea of what really goes into PlantX. So on that note, Patrick, Michael, welcome to the show.
Hello. Hi, Sean. It's good to see your face there.
Hey, great to see you guys. Miss you. Definitely had fun times meeting you. And what you've created is truly remarkable. Even the moose right behind you, you know, it's awesome that you are shooting from there. Awesome. Well, before we jump into anything on you guys, we love to start our vodcasts with asking, how do you take your coffee?
Well, mine is in bed. I'm spoiled. For I think the last 10 years, Michael's delivered me coffee bedside, and I'm extremely grateful, because that's about the only way I can wake up. I know I know it seems romantic, and I might have done it for that reason, but I have to throw in that he wasn't waking up easy, so it was either that or, you know. So I found out that was a good way. We try to tend to fix any issues with tenderness, so it's good.
How to take your coffee?
Oh, I don't drink coffee, and I never have. And so, but I drink green tea.
Green tea. And that's why I love this question so much. You'd think that so many people would just answer with black coffee or a cappuccino or a latte, but it's unbelievable. A simple question. You just never know what answer you're going to get. So thanks for sharing.
Not at all.
And the studio you guys have created, Martston and Brunt Art Studios, maybe you could speak to us about the journey, how it's come to be where it's at today.
Sure. We, years ago, maybe 20 years, 15,
We're not really sure.
Not really sure because it all morphed through a process.
Yes.
I was working at the Museum of Contemporary Art, MoCA, and Michael was working at MTV. And it came, I was starting to sell my paintings, and it was starting to happen on a regular basis. So I jumped off from my job and started just working out of the studio at home, while Michael continued at MTV, and then we started word of mouth getting more and more demand for work out of the studio, and with our living walls and murals, as well as my paintings, that Michael jumped off, and so we've been doing this ever since.
Yeah. You know, for us, we got here because we just said yes. When we left our companies and we had done painting, and then there was a vertical garden wall that wanted to go up through a client. And then we realized there was too many obstacles where he wanted it, and we suggested a mural. And we had never even done anything like that. But Patrick has done paintings that were 6 feet by 6 feet. And if we could do bigger, we would have. And so the first mural was great. Halfway through, the guy came up, and I said, and he's like, "Wow, this looks amazing." I'm like, "Right, for our very first one." I saw his whole face just drop.
That's great.
Yeah, but thank God it was looking good.
No,
So,
we felt confident to tell him at that point.
And he tells this at chamber meetings and different meetings. He loves to tell this story, so it's fun.
Yeah, no, it's so awesome, the energy and the passion you bring. And it brings me to my next question. You know, like originally, when people drive by, you think, okay, it's painted, right? But there's so much that goes into the design, the execution, everything to make it a true masterpiece like you guys have created. Can you share with our viewers the process, and then maybe what was the most exciting part of the interaction with PlantX during this?
Well, I think what was really fun is whenever, number one, it's client-based and client-driven in the sense of partnership.
Right.
And
Every experience takes on its own unique life.
Because of each person,
Right.
because of the building, because of the obstacles. Do we need a ladder? Do we need a lift? We dealt with this when we were doing this with you. We had this huge heat wave that we all just went through, and then cold. So meaning there's so many variables that people don't realize it's just a mural, and also the sizing and getting it all right. And some of the building is slanted, and so working within that those parameters to get it so tight. And that's where you're a genius. You know, you're just so good at this, and it really comes together. Then we have our meetings. And you were a part of that, so you got to see how we operated, and we got to work with future farms, and that was really great. And they were so communicative, and then we really enjoyed just learning about it. And there it is there.
Exactly.
And it was really fun.
It was great. First of all, their team is great and kind and very communicative. So it was nice to work with those partners. And also, this was one of the few experiences that I've had to stay, to be directed to stay very close to their brand book. And so that was fun because my original degree for college is in graphic design and advertising. So this really kind of rang back to my roots. And I had a lot of fun looking at the brand book, seeing what parameters there were, what fonts they use, the position of things. And it was important to follow that for them. And like with every client we worked with, we all ended up coming upon a final solution.
Yeah.
I usually give 3 or 4 different examples that I create in Photoshop that are superimposed on the surface that they're looking at. And so from there, we have a discussion because they have something visual to then edit down what the end product will be.
Yeah, and I think that you bring things to a whole new level. Like originally, when we came up with this idea of this pop-up store in Venice, it's about people seeing a billboard and then walking into the experience. Which there's not too many places that this takes place.
And I think it's a home run. I want to tell you the conversation around it and having the product right inside there at the door in that cooler has been an excellent. I think that Future Farms should be really happy with your partnership. Everything that we saw continued to line up and really grab those eyeball impressions that are that you're looking for. Yeah. And I just think that X Market landed really well in this.
Yeah, I think as a template, the experience in its entirety is a good template to work from. Again, Michael was saying that how the product is right inside the doors that you see painted above the entryway, but also they have I don't know what you call it, but a tent. Like
oh no, they have a stand outside that has the food.
So,
I learned what it was through an A-frame.
Yeah, an A-frame. Thank you.
So you get kind of this whole visual introduction, this visual welcome to the product, so I just felt like a lot of it really worked well together, whether it was thought out or whether it just happened to be that way. This ended up, I feel, being a great template for how this particular store can be used and perhaps applied to other locations.
When we're talking about our conversations, Sean, and when we worked with you, one of the things, if you've ever worked with any other muralist, because of our corporate backgrounds and are able to talk out things and really go deeper, I think we were able to really know what you needed and also what was happening, and not just we're just painting and we're leaving. This was a stamp and an impression that really is, especially here in Venice Beach, where you have so much liberty to have fun with art, and you know, we've been here and we have a nice reputation that we've worked hard for, so it's been really nice for people to see it. It's a great.
Yeah, no, I think that the organic approach that where the store started when PlantX acquired it to where it's at now is night and day. And again, partnerships like this help get to that next level. Like if you remember back, you know, no surprise to anyone who might be watching, I want everything done yesterday, right? And I still remember our first conversations, right? And we were actually going to go ahead and work with you on one, but you didn't just feel like you wanted to take money and turn around a mediocre product, that you actually did the whole design, which turned out beautiful, like absolutely beautiful. And you're like, you know what?
We could
for PlantX, for you know, the people who support us and everything, you're like, take it. It's our gift to you. And if we don't work together, that's okay. If we do work together, that's great as well. And then Future Farm turned out to be incredible. And then through 2023, we're booked out with a whole bunch of other brands that we're just going to have so much fun with you guys on. And I just think it's awesome.
You know, going back into that sense that Perez was her last name. What is her name from Future Farms?
Amber, maybe, or
Claire. It was Claire.
Claire.
And, you know, Claire, we listened to your last podcast when it came out, and Claire was so great. And when we spoke to you folks, one of the things of learning that the muralist and the client and the partnership really go more importantly together than it seems. If you get muralists who are not seasoned, then you're not going to have that relationship. And it wasn't only that you felt comfortable, it's when we were having our meetings that you can tell they were excited and they were. So I feel like the positivity that started in front of all of this was really what got behind it. And you can see our work right there, that we do so many different things.
Love that one. That's great. I've never seen that one. That's awesome.
The fish right there is our first one that we told you. See the two big fish?
Yeah.
So that's the big one, and that sort of surprised him. So that was fun. The other one above was our Google.
That's awesome. And, you know, as I mentioned earlier, the show's live and people are taking time out of their day. So we want to make sure they give us feedback on how to improve the show, what they love about the show. By the way, everybody's writing in that they love the art behind you. So that's super positive.
You see this? Can I tell you, Sean, you see right here? So we had a scaffolding. You see how people have scaffolding? Well, we turned ours into a cabana. We have a Google attitude. We really take care of ourselves. We don't go and do this awful, ugly, hard work on the concrete. We really make sure that we're under umbrellas. We make sure we have a hard fan right in front of us out on the outside. So, we have a lot of fun with how we do this.
Yeah, we love that little video that you put together and all the creativity that went into that.
Yes.
Wow, that looks awesome. And then, so back to the live viewers. So please make sure to send your feedback today, questions. We already have a few questions, and we'll go ahead. It's been a huge hit this season. It's season 4, where we send out a $100 gift card that people could then go shop on PlantX. And you wouldn't believe it. People write right after the show, and I love it. They go ahead and make the purchase like that evening. So love to see people making use of it and giving us their valuable time here. A little bit of a curve, I guess, but it's still art is the planted art. And as you guys know, Bloombox Club was one of our first acquisitions. If I'm not mistaken, our first acquisition, and the whole idea was creating a space inside during the pandemic to allow people to be motivated and feel the outside, indoors, etc. Could you share what kind of maintenance goes into a planted art wall, where the idea came from, and anything else you want to share?
Sure. First of all, I was brought up with a family that was very much into the gardens around our home, and so it's kind of in my blood. And one of my experiences being introduced more to plants and being creative with them was at a great boutique nursery here in Venice Beach called Big Red Sun, and just a great experience working there. They gave me carte blanche to just take odds and ends and create whatever I wanted, and just learned a lot there, and then applied it to there was a growing demand for living walls and vertical gardens, especially in an urban area where there's just concrete and brick. People were really longing for that green garden, so we were familiar with, and then thus only work with a brand called Woolly Pockets, or WallyGrow.com. And because they're amazing, and they make pockets, which you'll all appreciate, out of recycled plastic bottles. They actually make this material that is felt-like and very porous, so that the soil and water can still have air. And they're beautiful to look at. Again, they look like black felt, and they're easy to install. And but we've learned over the years to make sure you know your plants, make sure you know what light is going to be hitting the wall and what direction. Yeah. You really have to be sensitive to all those little logistics there, because you want the life of your plants to extend as far as possible. And a lot of the mistakes we see in other walls is they're just not picking the right plants for longer maintenance. A lot are put up to be decorative, but literally like 2 or 3 months, those types of decorative pieces need to be refreshed. Our idea is to really put plants that are going to last a long time, and either can grow out lush and be more of an organic style. And also, we do a style where it's very almost digital, where we can line plants up and kind of create a pattern for the eye to see. So we've had a lot of fun doing it, and we just finished literally wrapping a house in our neighborhood last year. So
amazing. No, that's fantastic. And as you've seen, like even the outdoor space in the back patio, that's really what we were trying to do. And we probably would have used you originally if we had known you guys back, a year ago, et cetera, when it all started getting going. But I think that what you've identified is definitely what the team over there has done. And Matthew and his team are doing a great job as well.
And it really does create a beautiful backspace on your patio. You feel surrounded by plants. You feel you're in a garden where there was no room for garden, right? So this vertical garden wall was your perfect solution. It really works well for you.
Within that, when you look over back there, you're talking about wellness and how Boombox brings wellness. Generally, the places, you can see those pictures that they're putting up there if you even want to come back to those. Of course, putting plants. There are concrete walls that we just put these beautiful pockets, this drip irrigation system that's very simple. I mean, for us to do it. And it just grows over. The wellness. So if you look at those, the one on the top left there, that was for a music video. The one to the right, this is out on the canals. The one on the bottom to the left is actually moss, faux moss, and it only has some plants. So it's
a hybrid.
We do faux moss, and we also do real plants, and we create them because sometimes in a restaurant, if you scroll right there, I'll show you, keep going. If it's not there, we'll talk about it. But we've done it for restaurants where there's no light, and we can make these green walls. They're just fantastic, and so it works out really well. And stop right there. It's that left one there, and that's a restaurant. That's a faux moss, and to the right is real. And ultimately, Sean, when we go to your patio back there for the vegan market is so luscious. I mean, it's overgrown. And then we saw all of your plants, and we know that you're selling them there, but we didn't know there was a correlation to how that was to wellness. But that well eating and going in there, and those plants are just sort of everywhere, really hits the mark in what you're trying to do. And absolutely what we do, it's visual, which gives us serotonin, which is good for wellness. It just literally tickers down.
And if I may add, we had an interesting experience. We worked with a student at a school called Crossroads here, and she did her whole senior science thesis on installing a living wall and what positive effects it could have on people and the environment. And it was fascinating actually to learn more from her, and because she really got into it. And but it is the aesthetics. It is psychological to be surrounded by nature. There's something that, we just, as human beings, biologically positively respond to. And also, it is good for sound. If there's a place that needs a little sound, what do you call it?
It stops from the balancing of echoing. And somebody was asking that they're great for oxygen. That's what the student really came around to. It wasn't just that; it was a bunch of different measurements. And so the wall is done now. The installation is done. The new students have come in this year, and the teachers and the administrators, they just love. We did 3 walls. And so now they're working to how can they measure it? How can the the younger students do it? So all in all, thank you for that, because the oxygen is everything. And asking about, did they do more regarding COVID or during the pandemic? Absolutely. Everybody went inward. And so we heard from a lot of people who wanted to do home projects, things in their homes. I can't tell you how many homes we went to and just told our friends what to do. We just get there and just tell them. And there's Patrick series. He did this series right here. You can see of paintings.
Yeah, so fun. And then, I love how you put it that plant walls or plant art is simple, but then you threw in for you, and that's great you clarified that, because I could build a website from A to Z, with a team and go for it and build up the whole infrastructure, but I wouldn't even know where to begin to do even
water and electricity and all of that, which we learned, these are the arcs of what we had to learn. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. We're running tight on time, so maybe just one more question, and then we could open it up to the floor. Obviously you guys are legends in the community. You've been there for years, and your reputation is awesome. It's great. And you've spent a lot of time, even before I met you, going to the store. Maybe you could speak about the whole plant-based movement in the area, what you see, what your take is on it, so that our investors and shareholders
we live in a place where it's cutting edge. We're at the beginning. We see new things all day, everything from Teslas to things that are people surfboards. So we're always seeing things that people are doing, and I just think it's everywhere. I don't think this is in a bubble anymore. I think that everybody's learning about their sugar intake, their oil intake. They're learning about caffeines. They're learning about their bodies. The generation before us just didn't have the information, and this stuff was just given to them. So regarding, it was fun to do Future Farms. We had already been trying so many different brands, and then when that yours opened up, we were just going across the street to try things. I think that we look at ourselves as, we heard the word flexitarians. So that's where we are. We're trying to find that space where our journey of eating can feel safe and good. And because of these products, it's just this wonderful bridge to walk over. And, and the amount of meat that we haven't eaten in the last 2 years or something is great. But again, we're flexitarians, so we're not trying to in any way say we're just one way or the other. But have we made a shift? Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I know you always share with me some different unique products, even when you tried the Future Farm items. I think you even sent a video and all of that. So that's great. And again, I know you guys are really busy and really appreciate you taking time out of your afternoon to join us. Like I said, we have a couple questions before we let you go. HFL Vancouver is the winner for today. If you could please send me an email, Sean, SEAN @plantx.com, and we'll go ahead and get you out that $100 gift card. Thanks for participating. HFL Vancouver asked, was the PlantX pop-up in Venice Beach the first one like this? And we'd love to see one in Canada. And, as we discussed on the show today, it was first of a kind for PlantX. We definitely, when we acquired the store New Delhi, we didn't buy it with this intention, but then these organic partnerships, even when I've went to sit over there, boom, meet people like yourselves, and it's just amazing how everything comes together.
You had a BI. You guys just, both you and Alex, found us. That was funny.
Yeah, no, that's great. And then wrapping a house sounds intriguing. Would love to see a photo of that project. So I don't know if you've got that, and then we could go ahead and share it on our social media. And then you had jumped in and answered this perfectly. Plants are also great for oxygen. Have you seen more people opting for plant walls since the pandemic?
Yes. Yeah. Just absolutely. We couldn't. The house that we wrapped around all the way around, and remember, one side has sun and the other has shade, so they're not the same plants. And we say this wonderful because we have dinner with the couple and we're friends. They're just down the street around the corner. It really was our pandemic COVID job because we winded up being there for the first year, right? And so that for us was just a safety place. We didn't have to be with anybody. We were by ourselves. And so it was really great for us and for the client.
Yeah.
Well, awesome, guys. Thank you very much. And again, look forward to working with you on the next projects, which we'll be sharing shortly. And again, thanks for believing in PlantX, supporting, and really helping us get to that next level.
Right on. Thanks for having us, Sean. Thanks for your whole team and Future Farms as well. That was really great. And the team at Vegan Shop. You got a really great team and management as well. Everybody is sharp and they're really great over there.
Really appreciate the kind words. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, guys.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. Well, thank you for taking time out of your day. I don't want to keep you guys much more. We have some really exciting news coming out over the next couple days. So obviously stay tuned to our PRs and newsletters. Typically each month we go ahead and recap the previous month and send that over to our newsletter followers and subscribers. And until next week, stay curious, stay planted, stay healthy. Cheers.
Thanks for watching the PlantX Vodcast. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more information, go to investor.plantx.com. See you next time.
PlantX believes in a plant-based future for our health and the health of our planet. We've created a unique online shop for everything plant-based. Our intent on positioning globally is the core of our vision for investor accessibility and corporate growth. Learn more at investor